Hey guys, Bill Watson with Brighter Image Lab, and this week we're doing a podcast on international clients. Guys, before I get started this week, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am and what we do. Like I say, my name's Bill Watson, and I'm a smile designer, and I hope to be your smile designer. What I want to know, what a lot of people don't know about it, is our process is lab direct. There's no dentist visit in the veneers that we designed. Everything we do is based on technology, innovation. I've been doing what we've been doing from the same address since 1997 with the same phone number. Guys, what we do is not a startup. It's not something we've done casually. And we do it all day, every day, 24/7, around the clock. And we do it not just locally, but we do it nationally. We do it internationally, around the world. I don't think everybody gets the fact that we do this all over, all the time, everywhere, every day. And but I started out with Google trying to spend dimes, and all the dimes I could spend went fastest in the UK. And back then we weren't very smart. I don't know if we're super smart now, but we weren't real smart then. And we didn't know how to price dollars versus pound. And they paid us double. And because we had it in, I think we just put the pound sign on the same price.
Right.
And the people started buying it. And it really helped me a lot. I don't think I think I made it international by accident. And then by working with those clients over the years, they rationalized. They would call us and go, "This is where you're making a mistake," or they would do stuff like correct our typos, like they spell color wrong, and some of the British English is different than American English. So when we saw that, but I will tell you, my first intro into this business was in the UK. My first international trip to London was because we were selling so many systems in the UK. We didn't even know that there was legal issues in the UK. We were already selling people. Then we found out that the laws there were trying to restrict people from buying bleaching trays. What they did is the law made it where you can't sell it in the UK, but there was no law against people buying it. And so people were buying it, and they were using their postal service to deliver it, but they couldn't buy it from the counter.
Right.
But you can order it in the mail. And it just saved us. And since then, that was all the way through 2010 or 12, and then we gradually moved into veneers. There's a big need around the world. In the U.S., we have so many dentists that I think a lot of people, or at least the top half of people, have access to some dentistry. And a bad smile is more manageable here than I think it would be in other places. But on an international level, when you get to where those choices aren't readily available, I feel a lot more appreciated. I always think that we have a better chance in Australia or the UK, but when you get into cities like Mexico City or some of these countries I don't even know. I know one of the guys we did was from Morocco, Africa, and that always surprises me, like how'd they hear about us? But when I saw the stats that you were telling me about from Australia, it made me pause for a minute, just because it stands out as a market for us. And when I see that they have more challenges, then I think I should easily be able to overcome their obstacles from buying from the U.S., considering the cost differences of what we're saving. I think you were telling me the prices were big.
Yeah. In Australia, in-chair teeth whitening can cost as much as $260 per tooth. It's way more expensive than it is here in the U.S. or in the UK.
Which is absolutely
outrageous.
I know that I don't say this enough, but I should say it more. They don't understand what a bad smile is costing them. And then they go, well, now you understand why they're trying to pay $260 per tooth. The sober position is that it shouldn't cost that much. And I think that was a big deal that we went through here in the U.S. for a while. Like the dentists were trying to own the market, and I just think in those smaller countries, they never fought enough to get away from the dentist for something that they can do themselves. But I look at all the people who don't pay $260 to get their teeth whitened, and I know that it's affecting their teeth. I know it's affecting their life because I have seen it my whole life on how instantly they improve their smile, and it just changes them. And I wish that they'd do the same thing we did here in the market in the U.S. is to scream that there's no dentistry and bleaching. Just let me bleach my teeth. But from a veneer point of view, if they have the most extraction, if they have the least insurance, if they go the longest without seeing the dentist, then the common denominator is that average market is going to be more responsive to a veneer ad. And so I think you're going to see us work harder on Australia.
Right. And how can Australians or any international client find out if they're a good candidate for removal of veneers?
Big thing is get to know us by following us. Send us your pictures. Anyone that's considering anything, before you even have a conversation with us, send us two freaking pictures of your teeth. That's the best way to be serious here. Send me 2 freaking pictures. Send me up close and send me a full face. The way we do our facial analysis basically starts with the width of their eyes and how it lines up with their smile. Like some people have a wide smile, so the outside of their eyes line up with their bottom part of their smile. Some people go all the way to the inside of their eyes, and then it goes. So they're extremely small. And determining whether or not your smile fits your face has a lot to do with a full facial picture.
Right.
The second thing is how do I think the real question I'd ask anyone that, if I was going to ask someone from Australia, I would say, what is it that's keeping them from being confident that we can get them the result? Like, are you truly scared to buy from us? If you have DHL and you have FedEx, what's your fear? Is it that you're just going to put money in the internet and it go away? Mm-hmm. I think those days are kind of gone. So I guess what I would be asking myself is what I can do to gain more trust from them. But as far as us doing the work, I see it more and more. And I think my big deal is how do they see it, not what we see it.
And on the topic of shipping, can somebody who orders internationally expect the same shipping process as people who order from here in the U.S.?
Let's say just what I just talked about, let me back up. If they send me 2 pictures, that's the first thing. Second thing is talk. Talk to the people 24/7. If you'll be patient with us and talk to us, you don't have to open a ticket. Just talk. Just type it in. Get to know your rep. One of the things worldwide that separates the number one reason why more people don't get more dentistry done is that dentistry or dentists as a whole are not approachable. I think it's crazy that I'm not a dentist. And even though I do smile design, I think it's crazy that dentists don't look at our practice and go, look how much we're doing.
Right.
And not want to make more smiles. I know that, I don't know if Matt's going to be proud of me saying this, but the dentist could easily put me out of business if they would just do it. We should not have to be the guy that came up and go, man, it's obvious that you're embarrassed of your smile. And I know that it's a small fraction embarrassment, but when it's your smile, it's freaking embarrassing. And this lady, this week out of North Carolina, I'll put up the pictures. Did you see the girl out of North Carolina we did this week? Probably the prettiest person I've ever seen in the freaking world, not just Dallas.
Right.
She has a small gap in her teeth and wouldn't do an Instagram page. And then we give her a veneer, and all of a sudden she's all over Instagram.
Wow.
I don't know her from anything other than just someone who ordered from us. But it's insane for that lady not to know a dentist. If they were more approachable, anyone should have done that. Like, I could think of 100 dentists that would love to get a picture of her saying, this is the guy who did my smile. And I'm just so glad she went through our system and it went perfect. And then she reordered again. She wanted one in case something ever happened to the one that she has. I guess I'm trying to say is that when you have a problem with your smile, regardless of how small it is, it's a big deal to you. And I don't know why the doctors don't work more to go, we're going to find a way to address that need to keep people from going to people like me. I'd have no problem with them putting me out of business.
I think that the biggest difference is when you go into the dentist office or you call the dentist, the first thing they ask you is, do you have the money? When you call our offices every day, and I sit right by the people who answer the phones, they say first, what are you dissatisfied with about your smile? What makes you not confident with your smile? What can we do to help you? It's not about money. It's not about if you have it right away. It's how can we help you feel good showing your smile to others? And how can we help you spread that joy?
What are you trying to achieve?
Exactly.
What I always ask people is, what's wrong or what's happened? You're 35 years old. Your smile didn't get bad today. What happened? What made you call today? And normally it's greed by association. Somebody will go, somebody in my work just got a new car, or they, I've been trying to lose weight and I want something. It's always something changed that made it about now. And we almost never get to the conversation about what they do. They say, I've lived with this for years. It's always been holding me back. And in the back of my mind, I don't say it much, but I always wonder what made them call me. And they look online until they can't find a real bad statistic, but like 96% of the people who look online to get their teeth improved never make it to the dentist. They call them and they go, oh, it's going to be 20 grand. Or we have a $250 consultation fee. Our average veneers are 10,000 plus. They're never going to set their ass in a dental chair. And they never get around to the doctor or what qualifies him, how many cases they've done. If they were more approachable, I think more dentists would use their education to make sure that something was more readily available. Even Mercedes, when they started making cars, they realized there was a market. They couldn't stay in the market without making a more affordable Mercedes.
Right.
There's an entry-level Mercedes that they go, here's how we get you into being a future client. And when you're 80, you can buy our Mac Daddy, but right now, just buy our intro.
And for a lot of people, that's what a removable veneer is. It's a stepping stone. You get to see what your smile would look like if you had it cosmetically made over by a dentist. And if that's something that you want permanently, you can make that decision. You can use that as a stepping stone until you have the money or the means to do something permanent.
I see it all the time. Where I helped this kid for a long time, and now they've got their veneers done or whatever. And then I see the opposite, where some people won't change. They don't want to get their teeth grinded. This is going to be their solution. And the technology is getting better and better. One of the things I would talk about is that our fit is getting so much more consistent. I used to do veneers where I'd tell them on all my blogs, you'll always hear me say, before I show it to them, you've never had these on before, you've never seen them before, and there's a chance they won't fit. And I think that's going to change in the future. I think what you're going to see me do is not say that anymore.
Right.
I think I'm going to say, we know they fit.
Mm-hmm.
Like no doubts, no 1%, no 3% chance. Short of you making a bad impression, they fit.
Right. And if the good impression is the cornerstone of a good veneer, how can people who are ordering internationally get help when making their impression?
The biggest thing is watch the videos. There's so many videos on how to take the impression. The other thing is don't be afraid to order more impression material. Like if you think you're going to screw it up, then watch a bunch of times, and then the impression material is really not that expensive. And I don't know if we have it on the website where they can order more, or if they just have to do it through a customer service person. But we've never turned someone down for more impression material. I thought about this today. I don't know if it's too early for me to say it, but I know in the U.S., if people had a problem, they could literally run an ad on Craigslist that says, I have my impression material and I have my trays. Can some dental assistant help me with these impressions? And if you offered them like $40, somebody would just come by the office and go, boom.
Right.
In other countries, it's just not going to be that hard. One is, I don't think the impression's that hard, but I do think it's always worth $100 just to be positive when you're shipping something 5,000 miles away. Some dentist office will help you take that impression. Whether or not they agree with what you're doing or not, it shouldn't be impossible to get help. But back to international. The big thing that I would say about international that's a PowerPoint for me is it's the most important phase that I look in, and I care the world about it. I know they stand out to me a lot. I always think it's weird when I pull up pictures from someone from Italy or France or Germany or whatever, and I don't know if it should be weird, but I know that they went through a lot to get to us. Most of the time they're even translating, like they translate the language or whatever. And I see the very least amount of returns from international, and I hope it's because the work's great. And I'd like to think that the impression is not the big obstacle. When I see what it does to change their life, and when I see what it does to give them a result that wouldn't be affordable otherwise, when I see these people know that they're going to change their life on a product that, if they just work with me, will work with them. I know one thing that I don't say enough about on the customer service from an international point of view is Google Translate's been amazing. Mm-hmm. Google Translate has helped us work in every language. And it's slower, and it's not face-to-face, or it's not over the phone, but I think it's just as effective. And every once in a while you get some words that don't translate. But you can pretty much understand what they're trying to say, and sometimes you get that they're trying to be funny, or they didn't mean to say that, or their translation is a little different. Like sometimes they'll call you babe or honey, or they mean thanks or something.
Right.
But if you don't read too much into it and you understand they're just being appreciative, then I think Google Translate works all over the world. And I think our customer service 24 hours a day will translate to whatever they think. We'll work back and forth. I just don't think it's that difficult. And especially in the countries where they search in English, even if they have a different language, like all the German people speak English. The Italians speak a lot of English. And like in Canada, in Quebec and stuff, it's a French place, but all their searches are in English. And I'm real surprised, like when Taiwan, we talked to them and their English is really good. So a lot of places around the world, even though their first language is not English, they still search a lot in English, or the younger market does. And we're not really going after all those markets. This is for the first time that I'm trying to put an emphasis on Australia. I think we'll have the same emphasis on New Zealand. If you're going to turn on Australia, you might as well turn on New Zealand, because I get the feeling that the same delivery route, whoever's delivering Australia is going to deliver whatever FedEx plane is taking it to one is going to take it to the other. I do know that some of the friendliest clients I've ever had are from New Zealand. The ones that tend to be the most appreciative seem to be from the most further away places. And I don't know if we've really benefited from that as much. And so when we got started today on what got us started on international clients was that they tend to stand out the most. And I think one of the things that, if I haven't done yet, I want to say more about it is just letting them know that we're 1,000% behind them. It's not a casual effort for us. The customer service is 24/7. Any time of the day they wake up. If I look at my phone right now, there's 17 hours difference in us. But the way the 17 works is about noon our time, it's somewhere around 6 or 7 their time in the morning. So we're really here throughout their whole day, and then our overnight is here through their evenings. And so from a furthest point of view, we're generally always here. Anytime they're awake or asleep, we're here. And if that's true, then it's just a matter of them trusting us with the impression and then giving us time. But it's not casual for me. I'm going to do all that I can do, everything I can do as a main focus to make sure that none of the international clients regret it. We do so many of them, but we don't call and go, can we get your pictures? Can we get your ad pictures? Can we get your ad pictures? But I think I need to make an effort. And if more of those efforts was being done, I think the reputation of how much we care would spread faster. Like, we're not calling because we want the star, even though we want the star, but we may be able to improve it if you'll just give us their pictures. I can't tell you how many times people send us their after pictures, and I'll take it and go talk to anyone on the staff and go, we could literally do better than this. If that girl's getting married, let's thin that down. If that girl, if that doesn't bother her, ask her if we can redo that. Or does she mind if we take another chance? I don't think it's as straight as it needs to be, or I think it could be smaller.
Right.
And I wish more people knew it. Like, don't be afraid to send me your pictures. It may get you a better veneer.
Yeah, even if it fits, if you send your before and afters and you see something that can be improved, why not?
Anything I could say to international clients, only thing I could tell them is your only concern would be, what's it going to be like dealing with America? And I will tell you, you'll never have a problem getting somebody on the phone or someone to respond to you. And we're not talking about days or 6 hours or 12 hours. We're talking within... Very difficult not to get an answer within 2 hours here. Like, we treat it like a phone call. What I'm trying to do is eliminate every obstacle that I can do that would make people be somewhat resistant about whether they can do it. Help them with the impression so they keep knowing that the impression is not the obstacle. Show them how to research the impression outside of us. Work with them on contouring, on understanding more about what's possible. And 2, delivering an excellent fit that's competitive with the cosmetic dentistry. And then I said this earlier, I don't know why the dentists don't do more, but the more the dentists don't do, the easier it's going to be for us to grow. And I don't see anything on the horizon that makes me think that they're trying to do more affordable smile makeovers. And I think that the more affordable smile makeovers become for people who need them, it spreads for people who then could afford them but just don't want to spend the money. And I think that's how we'll move. But international is a big deal for me. I appreciate everything you did for me today. Thanks for jumping in last minute. But if you're in Australia, if you're international anywhere, if you're in New Zealand, if you're in the UK, I will tell you, we treat you as if you're right here locally. And there's not a time barrier. Our first shift will take care of anything that's within our zones, our time zones. But our second shift is going to take care of anything that's in their time zone. Our third shift is going to take care of anything that's in their time zone. So every day you're not at the obstacle of trying to get up early or stay up late to deal with us. I've had a good time talking about the international. I'm interested in seeing what the new year brings. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate your help. Keep helping me with all this research on stuff that nobody knew.
Of course.
I don't even know if the people in Australia know that they're not leading, that they're probably last. They're last or second to the last.
A lot of people assume it's the UK, and I did as well, maybe out of ignorance.
Yeah.
But no, it was extremely shocking.
I think it's crazy how around the world we've caught on. I think they're more capable of catching on to healthcare, but I see it every day. I don't know why the world doesn't catch on that for a lot of people, having an attractive smile is not a luxury. And I think you've seen some of the stuff we've done with people that have really bad smiles. And I just don't see how somebody can go, he did that as an elective. There was nothing casual about buying that for him. And when I look at taking it away, if I would have said, hey, we need that back, I look at what it does to them and just weird to think about how that's considered a luxury in a lot of the places. But until things change, it's always going to be on the table. Some people are going to have bad smiles. But on a good note, I just want to say thank you to the world. And hopefully this vlog will give people confidence to know that we are focused on international. So thank you, the world. Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. If you don't know us, look us up online at Brighter Image Lab. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Thank you, guys. Hey, guys. You're watching this video because you've probably seen one of our last videos. Real quick, the next videos are things that we want to do in the future. But I need you to like, I need you to subscribe, comment below, let us know what you think. We want to make the content that's important to you. We can't do it if you're not following us. So I'll see you next week.